Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.
Oscar BEVIS, IFL TV, MTK Global, delighted to be joined by British and Commonwealth super lightweight champion, Akeem Ennis-Brown. How are we, mate? Happy New Year as well.
Happy New Year, my brother. How are you, man? You good?
I'm good. I said to you, I was like, can you put a little story up, tag me in it, let people know we're doing an interview tonight? And John Pittman being a nutcase as always.
Trust me. Fine. I don't know. You know, I try to do this recording for so long. So I got to do a recording for Oscar, and he just had to make a bad noise in the background. So I thought, you know what? Yeah, you want to be in it? Cool, go on then. You're in it. Crazy.
You know what though? We've had 10 months bogged down. It's probably going to be 12, 14 months. It ain't the most fun time in the world, but the fun you boys seem to have in that gym, is that necessary at the moment?
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's weird because normally when you're in our gym, it's like a community based gym, like, you know what I mean, like everybody in there knows everybody, not everybody in our gym is just boxers, you know what I mean. Some people there got all types of goals, what they want to do, whether it's fitness goals, health goals, whatever, you know what I mean. But we all come together as a family and we all lift each other, build each other up. But it hasn't really been like that buzz because of lockdown, so it's just really been just the fighters in the gym. But like, we've all managed to keep the buzz going, nice bit of love and community. So it's all good anyway, you know what I mean? So like you seen today, that's just a bit of it, mate. There's so much madness that goes in the gym, man. You need some of that. You need some of that where it comes with the hard work as well.
Well, I'm going to make a promise now that I'm going to come down in the next couple of months or whenever it be it soon, and make sure I get all the boys causing trouble on camera. Let's jump straight into
100%.
the MTK deal. Long story short, did it just make sense for you?
Well, it's a case of like this year, you give everybody a chance, and you know what I mean. Like when you work with someone, you give everybody a chance. And my thing is this: I'm not really that hard to work with, you know what I mean? Because I don't really act so much, like in regards of where I say is if you ask me to fight, I fight. I'm not hard to work with because you say this you want to fight or this and that, I do that part. And all I ask for from MTK is to get me the right fight. So get me the right fight, stick with me, and let's get on this journey to get to greatness. I don't really care about money, I don't care about all the other things. I just care about the legacy side of it. And MTK seem like they're behind me with that. And it just seemed like the right thing to do, you know what I mean? Like, we've been going strong for like how long we've been going, and nothing can't go wrong. We haven't put a foot wrong. So it's like, why not just keep it going, you know?
I find it quite weird of you because obviously you've got the British, you've got the Commonwealth, you've dissected the fight with Philip Bowes. I think you've done an interview with Andy afterwards. But I'm more interested in looking at your CV. Like, you've got Chris Jenkins on there, Philip Bowes, who I mentioned, English, British, Commonwealth. Is it about time that MTK took you and made you a bloody name now? Because you are a top fighter. You've got these belts. You've got a couple names on the resume. It's about time you become a name now.
100%. I think a case of like, you got to show, I think I had to show them that I'm the real deal first, you know? So it's a weird thing because I thought I would have showed that already, but I guess you got to keep on showing it and whatnot. And people, you got to make, I see it as you got to make people believers, you know? And I think I've done that now. But yeah, definitely it's time for them like to back me. Let's go all the way to like the world title. I think they're on that now. They're on that to like say, you know what, let's build you to go all the way, get the big title, get the big fights. And I think they got the faith in me to know that I can go all the way. Obviously, before that, you can't just suspect everybody to give you all. You got to give them something and show them something. And I've done that. You know, I showed them that I'm willing to fight anybody. I'll beat anybody, and I put the work and I get it done. You know, I get results. So I guess once showing that, you know what I mean, they stick with their part, and it's like, yeah, let's build them up now. Let's get them the right fights. Let's take them on. Let's see what else we can do.
Sam Maxwell, Lewis Ritson, they were sort of the names touted, the names you said you want. Maxwell was closest. I think things were tied up and all tied up at your end, and I think we was close to seeing that fight. Talk to me, Rids, man. Where are we at with this? Because I was looking forward to that.
No, we're there. We are there. Don't worry. Like, Maxwell, he talks a good game, so I'm gonna have to go close his mouth. You know what I mean? Like, he talks a good game. He said he wants it. He wants to be the next victim. He wants to be the next name on my great resume, ever growing resume. So I'm gonna give him his wish. You know, I'm gonna give him his wish. I'm gonna give him what he wants. Give him a shot. I'm gonna beat him up, and then yeah, that's that. And I'll move on to great and better things. But to be honest, or like being taken serious, like Maxwell's a good fighter. You know what I mean? He's done his thing. He's got an amateur background, all of that. Everything else. And he's a good fighter, but if you haven't noticed, like, look at my resume. That's what I like. I love good fights, hard fighters. I don't want to fight no one who ain't gonna really do nothing for my career or get me up or whatnot. I could have had easy fights if I wanted. Every day I got some like different people calling me out, you know what I mean, saying they want shots, whatever. So out of the list of them who I could fight, I said Maxwell, he looks like the hardest one out of all of them. So let's get it. Like, you know what I mean? Let's get it. So Maxwell definitely going to be the next one to get it. And once I deal with them, then we move on.
Yeah, I mean, I like this fight. The fans will like this fight. I know you've both had some verbals. It's not been anything major, really, but it's been brewing a while. I remember, was it a couple of years ago, he said he wanted a bit of you when you had the IBF European. So is there a little bit of spice there now as well?
Yeah, but this is the thing. Like, he's a bit of a talk, though. Like, you know what I mean? Because I remember years ago, he said he wouldn't mind fighting, whatever. And then back when I was like one of the most avoiding, I couldn't get fights. I called him out. I said, like, you know what? Let's fight. You know what I mean? Let's fight, whatever. The guy blocked me. He blocked me on social media, so I couldn't call him out or make no more fights, bro. And I'm thinking, it's funny because it's like, all right, cool. I said, forget him. You know what I mean? You don't want it. I ain't no bully. I ain't gonna keep getting onto you. I left it, kept it moving, got on my route, do my own thing. Somehow I'm unblocked on everything now. Unblocked on all social medias. This guy wants to fight me now. He's got a big mouth. He's talking game. So I think is that what it is? Like, you know what I mean? Once you get the titles and things, people want to fight. But I don't think it's weird because he talks like he wanted this fight, but he could have had this fight so long ago. But he knows that it's a big risk. So he wants to make sure the reward's worth it for him. But now the reward's worth it for him. He's ready to take that risk. But he's not going to get the reward in the end of it. The only reward he's going to get is the experience of getting beat by a great fighter like me. So great.
I love it. Boxers can
him.
go in the ring and punch each other up, but there's always that little bit of pettiness up there and there somewhere with the old blocking. I love it. Do you feel like you don't want to give him that fight? And obviously the fans want to see it, and I know you want the fight, I suppose, but is there a bit of you that goes, because you didn't give me the opportunity, and I've heard fighters say this in the past, because you didn't give me it then, now I'm a bit, why should I give it to you? Even though it's going to happen.
I could be like that, yeah. But then to be honest, I think that is petty, you know what I mean? I feel like that's petty because, like I said, if I'm in this to be the best, then this guy down says he thinks he's the best, he thinks he could take what I've got, then I'm willing to show that I'm the best. So in my eyes, I look at how can I prove to the public I'm the best? Who is that? So let's beat great fighters. So these people, a lot of people think what Maxwell's a great fighter. Some people might even think he's a favorite to beat me, you know what I mean? So if that's the case, then I want that. I'd rather if everybody said, oh, really rival, nah, he beats Maxwell, that's easy. No, there's no, I wouldn't be interested in the fight. Because people are saying, oh, I don't know, this might be a hard fight. I love that. Let's get it on, you know what I mean? So yeah, definitely Maxwell can get his shot. And I just look at it like, I look at Maxwell, he's like my son, you get me? That's what I call him. I call him my son because he's like, you know that son was, he's a bit disobedient, you got to just discipline him. That's what it is. Like my little son, I'm gonna have to go discipline and teach him some manners. And then, yeah, you know what I mean? Move on. He's going to be a good boy after. He's going to be a good boy after Daddy disciplines him. You know what I mean?
I'm sure that's going to go down really well when he hears that. So, are you in camp then? Because obviously it seems like fights are announced, and I know you'll know before we see an announcement, but fights are announced now and the turnaround's really quick. It's like, this fight's announced, they're fighting in 3 weeks. So are you in camp, or are you just doing the 70% training, or are you in a camp now?
No, we're in camp, man. We're in camp. We're having it. It's like, we never really leave camp. You know what I mean? We're on this all the time. Fighters, what is camp? Like, that's what I'm saying. Them fighters, what we talk about camp, like, they ain't real fighters. You know what I mean? Yes, you should have a little break, have a little layoff, and obviously there was Christmas and all of that. But my thing is, you should always be in camp, proving, trying to keep it moving. You know what I mean? And that's my mindset. So, yeah, like I'm in camp. Obviously, you have your different levels of stepping up and whatnot. But it's like fight date is gonna be announced soon, and people need to know it's not far as they think it is. It's a lot closer than they think. You know what I mean? So once it gets announced, like bam, it's gonna be here. So I believe Maxwell is in camp. I'm in camp, and we're getting ready. We're getting ready to go give the fans what they want. So trust me, it's gonna be coming very soon.
Yes, I'm glad to hear this because I'm looking forward to this fight so much. From your perspective, do you mind about names in general? Because after you sign that deal with MTK, I saw some news outlets saying really wants to get all the belts, and he's done the English, British, Commonwealth, and you want the European and that. Do you mind whose name is at the end? Or if you had to fight, I think the European champion at your weight's at Sandor Martin. He's not the biggest name in the UK, but he's got the gold to. Are you looking at names? Are you looking at belts?
It's a weird one, you know, because it's like obviously not looking past Maxwell, because obviously, like I said, I got to go discipline him first, so not looking past him. But it's a weird one because I'm in it for the legacy. So what can it give me? What am I going to be remembered for? The titles, the names? I think it's a bit of both. Like I said, I've gone out there, I've got titles. It didn't really give me somehow I didn't really get respect for the titles. I've gone out there and I've beat names. It didn't really give me the respect that neither for that. So I guess it's a case of you got to smash them both together. So if I can get the titles and the big names, then great. And that's why, if you notice, look at all the titles I really fighted when I fought for. I've had opportunity to fight for titles against easy people. I've never took my first proper title, English title. I challenged Glenn Foot in my eighth or ninth fight. He was like 21, like 20 fights, 20 wins, 1 loss. You know what I mean? English champion. That was my first English title test. Won that. My WBC youth world title. I had the opportunity. It was a vacant title on my home show. I had the opportunity. They gave me a list of names I could fight. Some guys with like losing records, like dead people. None of them got me excited. I said, if I'm going to fight for this title, I need to be remembered. Obviously, the youth title, I didn't really care about the title, but that was like more of, I want to be remembered for beating somebody. Got to mean something. So I said, who's the hardest fight you give me? Chris Jenkins came up, and some people were like, oh, I don't know, you should take that as a step too far. Even the promoters on the show were saying, like, you know what? You sure you want to do this? Because it's like, it's a home show and it could go wrong. I said, give me the fight. I know what I'm capable of. Give me the fight. Done that. Going into the IBF European title, I was meant to originally fight Johnny Core, great fighter at the time. Then I was meant to fight him. Obviously, for some reason, the fight didn't go ahead. He pulled out for some reason. And then they put me in with Darren Foley, a world ranked fighter at the time. At that time, Darren Foley was shining. You know what I mean? He was shining. And it was like, okay, the same thing. People thinking, oh, this is a step too far for him. You know what I mean? Doubt with that. You know what I mean? So I've always wanted them tests. My first defense of it against an undefeated fighter, fighting for the British Commonwealth title against Philip Bowes. And now, like I said, my first defense in this title, like I said, I can have the easy fight. But I said, no, I want to fight Sam Maxwell, a hard fight. So at the end of this year, the boxing world got to give me my respect and my dues here, because I don't see no other fighter doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So it's a weird one. But at the same time, like I said, I just got to go there and educate the boxing world, I guess, and show them that I'm the real deal and this is what I'm about. But I believe, yeah, all fighters should be doing it like I'm doing. And I'm shocked that the boxing world don't do it like that. A lot of people like to pad their records and get to titles, hide behind these international titles and whatever, get world rankings that way. And I think that's false. That's what I'd like to do it the traditional way, English, skip at this area level, straight into English, British Commonwealth, and I wouldn't mind European world next, you know what I mean? Because it's a traditional way. And I know, when you do it that way, you're only going to get you get no easy fights. So, and I believe that's the real way to do it. And fighters should be doing it like that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you know what I said, actually, because I do say this to quite a few fighters, because I'm not going to say any names, but you will know in the back of your head there are fighters out there who may have won a European title, but the name they beat or the defenses they've had hasn't followed the path of a fighter at European level. So I know what you mean. If you try and smash the two together, that's where you get the results. Do you keep your eye on the world scene at all? You must give it a little second thought, because you aren't actually that far away now. Like, you are.
100%. Like, from when I first walked into boxing, I always set my standards so high about like the world level. That's where I'm going. That's where I want to be. So I've always used to keep my eyes on that and not being big-headed. But I always said, like, the British and Commonwealth, I knew I was really going to win. Like, you know what I mean? I knew I was always, like, capable of winning, let's say. Not I knew I was going to always win. Let's say I know I was capable, good enough to win if I put the work in. So it's never been a shock to me or surprise. People are like, oh, how do you feel, British Commonwealth? I'm not shocked or surprised, because I said this. Like, I said that I was going to do these things. So why can I be surprised? I can't be surprised at the things I said I was going to do. The world titles, that's where I say I want to go. So it's a case of, I always keep my eyes on there. And I believe fighters should set their standards high. Because what else are you in this for? But yeah, I keep my eyes on it. And like, the world level is a good level, but yeah, I'm not far from it. So you got to keep your eyes on that.
That strikes me. I don't know, that you said because you knew you was going to get there, there wasn't much shock. Like, did you not feel pressure going into the ring with Philip Bowes then? Because if you say that's standard procedure for you, that you knew you was going to get to British and Commonwealth level, I don't know, like, what was the pressure levels like on that night then? Because, say things had gone wrong, you hadn't even hit your minimum expectation. Because for a lot of people, say British and Commonwealth is, I don't know, it's not anything to be ashamed of. You know what I mean? British and Commonwealth for some people is the goal.
It's a great.
So, like, what was the pressure like on that night then? Because if you say that's your standard,
that was it. I'm not disrespecting the British Commonwealth title, and like, you got to give respect to it, because it's a great title. And don't get me wrong, I said I wasn't shocked that I won it, but I was very, very happy that I won it. You know what I mean? I was very happy and very excited that I won that for my city. And with all the setbacks of getting them titles, it was a bit of a long thing. So when I finally got it, it made it even more sweeter. But like I said, I was good enough to know that I was capable of winning it. So can't be shocked at that. And when people used to say to me about, it's like they expect you to be just your standards that high set there. For other people, they can be like that, because I said that's their goal where they set. But I set my goal so high up there. So when I met it there, it was like, you know what I mean? It's cool. But going into that fight, it was, did I feel pressure? No, not at all. Not at all did I feel pressure. And it weren't no disrespect to Philip Bowles. I know he was a good fighter. I knew how great he was, but I knew how hard I was going to work. And like you said like if you foul, if you slip, fell off, whatever, you know what I mean, so far from your goal. That's why for me it's like life or death when I go in there. It's life or death in the way of like failure's not an option because I've set myself so high. I put it all on the line. I put all my eggs in one basket. Like this is what I'm doing. It's boxing. This is my thing. You know what I mean? So I ain't here to fail. You know what I mean? I'm not here to fail. I'm here to go all the way and give it all I got. And I believe I'm capable of doing that. And no one ain't gonna get my way and stop me. No one can. No one. I'm not gonna let no one get my way and stop me. So that's why I get. That's why I work hard. That's why I make sure I do what I do because this is what I'm. This is what I live for. You know what I mean? I live for this. I know a fighter. No fighter ain't good enough to stop me. I'm not. No, it's not at all.
I love it. I love the confidence.
And I think every fighter in the boxing game should have that mentality. Yeah, every fighter should have that mentality. That's what I'm saying. It's not. It's confident. It's like I believe it's good confidence. It's not cocky. It's confidence. Every fighter should have that. Yeah. And I see some fighters going, "Ooh, no, forget that, man. It's boring. Get out of here." You know what I mean? Like the sport's not for you. Like you should have the confidence to know. There's nothing wrong with saying you think you're the best. Nothing wrong with saying you go out there. You know what I mean? As long as you go out there and prove it or show it. You know what I mean? Back it up or whatever. Then cool. You fall short. You fall short. Yeah. But at least you give it your best. You know what I mean? But yeah, I believe every fighter should have that confidence, and there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm shocked that certain fighters but don't, you know what I mean? But
you know what people are scared of though? We're in that social media age. If you are cocky or confident but come across a bit cocky and you fall short, you are going to get slated for it. That's the age we're in.
100%, that's it is, yeah. But I think you can't live to care whatever people think. You know what I mean? You can't live to care whatever people think. And it's a case of, like I said, it's all or nothing for me. You know what I mean? It's all or nothing. So I put all my eggs in one basket saying like, yeah, I've got to get this done. I've got to get this right. And social media that, but a lot of people, they care too much about these undefeated records, the undefeated O's and all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, I want to stay undefeated. I want that, and I know I believe I'm good enough to stay undefeated. But it's not a case of that for me. Like more for me, it's about legacy and stuff like that. And I want to test myself. I want to know how good I am. If I do fall short, if I do lose, then cool. That's how it goes. So be it. You know, so be it. At least I know where I'm at. At least I gave it my best, and I know when I first walked into boxing, I just wanted to know how good I was. You know what I mean? So that didn't matter if it was. I lost my first fight and I stayed on their area level, or I go all the way to win a world title and go down in history. I don't really care. I just want to know how good I was. And once I get the answers to that, yeah, I'm happy. You know what I mean? I'm content. I haven't got the answer yet to know how good I am. You know what I mean? I don't know how good I am. I believe I can go all the way, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I could be wrong. But someone got to prove me wrong first, you know? But till then, I believe you should have that confidence to think you can do it and go out there and try and put it all in to try to do it.
Young boxers, listen to this man. I like it. Obviously, I'm not your manager, right? But I see a route, right? Taylor or Ramirez win. The belts are unified. All of them undisputed champion. One of them moves up to 140. The belts are fragmented. There's a vacant belt somewhere. You're ranked. Do you see there is a possibility that a world title? Because I know you keep your eye on it, obviously, but the world title. I don't know. I think you must be ranked with the IBF. I suppose the world title is actually like, I don't know, it's a possibility.
Yeah, now 100% the world titles are a possibility. I wouldn't mind. Like, I don't really mind about the world title, who to fight or what not. I just would love to just fight the best, to show the best. But at the same time, this is why I like taking these fights on like these Sam Maxwell's, like talking about going down the European route, all this stuff, because I didn't get the biggest amateur career, like amateur background. I mean, amateur experience. Well,
you feel like you're still building towards it then.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm learning on the job. That's the thing. I'm learning on the job. Yeah, I remember me and my coach, me and John Pittman, we said, like, we turned pro early, young, at the age of, like, 19, young, with, like, what, 30, 31 amateur fights, you know what I mean? Like, that's nothing compared to some fighters, you know what I mean? So when we said that, we just said we can learn on the job. John Pittman said to me, you could learn on the job, we go pro, get loads of good sparring, fight the best. So that's why from get-go, I've been taking hard fight after hard fight, because to me, they are my amateur background learner fights, and they prepare me for when I get to a world level that I'm going to be ready. I'm going to know everything. I face every start, everything, every situation, have all the experience, and I'll be ready. So, yeah, like I just see it as that. So, you know, but yeah, like we say, no, they're great names. You know what I mean, but till I get to them, I don't know what them guys are going to do until I get to them. But until I get them, I believe I can get a lot more experience in me by the time then anyway, to make sure I'm the complete fighter. I don't think I'm the complete fighter just yet. I think I'm a great fighter, but not the complete fighter. So I've got a lot more to learn. So that's why I love taking these hard fights to keep learning.
And obviously, this is my first time speaking to you, but you also strike me as someone, and I'm not just kissing your ass because you're on camera to me, but you strike me as someone who even if the world honours came, you're still that boy at the fight farm. You're still a community man. You don't strike me as someone who's going to let the stardom take you away, if you know what I mean.
No, 100% not, man. 100% not. I mean, you got to keep that hunger. It's the weird thing, because a lot of people thought this is like, you're going to win the British title, come on, the title, you're going to fall off. And you think that you're in for a big shot, yeah? Because them things only make me hungry, you know what I mean? The more glory, the more I get to where I need to go, it just makes me more hungry, because I started from the bottom with nothing, you know what I mean? No one would give me no chance, no shots and nothing. So it's like, we did this all the hard way. So, and I'm going to keep going. And this just makes me more hungry. It don't make me never. I don't know. It's a weird one. I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Like, you see it with a lot of fighters. It happens to you. Yeah. I've always said to myself, I'm never going to be one of them fighters. Never going to be one of them fighters, because I don't know. It's cringy, isn't it? It's cringy when you see fighters like that. It's like, nah, keep that hunger, man. Keep that hunger. I want to be one of them fighters like Floyd Mayweather or something. Yeah, was in this game to the end. Never falling off. Like, you're walking out the game on the top. Like, I want to be an old fighter in this and still great in this, if possible. But yeah, you got to keep putting in the work, and I guess, and never take your eye off the ball. Keep that same hunger mentality as when you first started, and that's where I always looked at it. But it's funny, yeah, you said that, yeah. First, I'm speaking to you, bro. You know, I've done interviews with every other person in IFL, and you're the first. I'm thinking. I said to my guy Matt, I said, "Yo, Oscar, we need to get an interview with Oscar, yeah, because he's the only one we haven't linked up with." And I said, "Yeah, I see you doing your thing there, and you're a cool guy, bro. I see how you do your thing to everybody. Yeah, nah, it's good to have a chat with you as well, bro."
It's finally happened, mate. It's the link up that the boxing world didn't know they needed, but they've got it.
Trust me.
That's because I'm new to the game. That's why. Just finally, can I ask you to stick your hat on Taylor-Ramirez? Obviously, it is in your weight class. I know you said you're looking at world level, but that is what we expect to come next, and it'll probably line itself up in the next couple of months alongside you and Sam, I suppose. So it'll be a big month for the super lightweight fans in the UK. Stick your hat on Taylor or Ramirez.
I'm going to say Taylor all day long. I'm a bit biased in the fact of, one, he's from, like, wow, you know what I mean, local to us compared to other fighters. And two, it's a case of, I've sparred with him, you know what I mean? I've sparred with him. I've seen he's a great fighter, you know what I mean? Sparred him, great fighter, good fighter.
I didn't know this. You sparred with him?
Yeah, I sparred with him. Yeah. But I sparred with loads of great fighters. Like I said, I had to get experience, and you know what I mean? That's how I'm getting my experience.
You sparred with Josh. That's avoided me somehow. But yeah.
Yeah, man.
So you are a bit biased, but you think Josh will beat Ramirez? Yeah.
I'm going to be a bit biased with him. Be a bit biased with Josh Taylor. I think he beats him. He's a good fighter, very good fighter. And I don't know that Ramirez, he's a good fighter too. I just think Josh Taylor can have too much for him. Too much for boxing brain, too much boxing skills, and come on strong. So yeah, my money's on Taylor, and I believe he's going to bring it home. I'm going to put a fat bet on that, you know. I'm going to put a fat bet on Taylor for that one. So yeah, you better bring it home. For me. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Brilliant, mate. Thank you very much. There he is, the most awkward super lightweight, the British and Commonwealth super lightweight champion, Akeem Ennis-Brown. Thank you very much.
Come on, shout out man like Oscar. We get you down there. Can I see Andy McCart? I see how he's up there with all them Scottish fighters, you know what I mean, with Maxwell, all them guys. I know he's probably whatever. He tries to say he's not on the fence, but I don't know. I'm starting to think, Andy, I know you're going to see this. I don't know if you're team Maxwell or not, but if you are, then we're stealing Oscar. He's coming out the fight factory. He's going to be our IFL representative, I get me, and that's how we're going to do this. Oscar's going to be team ready, get me, team ready. That's how
you can't stick me in this situation. I like Sam. I like you both.
I'm playing, man. Don't worry. I like Andy. I like Sam. Come on, we like you all, man. Come on, it's all love.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.